Hello everyone, my name is Shraddha Subramanian and I help individuals to break their barriers, achieve their dreams and also live an extraordinary life using my coaching tools and techniques. I am a life coach, author of best-selling book Circle of Perspectives, an intuition expert and someone who is highly passionate about lives. So I welcome you all to this expert chat live and I am super excited to share and answer your queries. Before we begin, I want to tribute this expert chat to my mother, uh, late Mrs. Sheila Jayan Thergaonkar, and she had been a pillar in my life for who I am today. She has been a strong pillar and she has been an exceptional woman in her life. She had been a committed person and that's how what I inherit in my life. So looking forward to answer your questions. More about me, I am a woman entrepreneur, founder of Sparkling Soul, which is a firm which is committed for making change in lives, transformation in lives. Also, I'm a mother who believes that whatever I learn and whatever I help to my daughter with her things in her life, her belief systems, that's going to create an awesome future. Okay, so there's the first question we have. Renu asks, sometimes mindsets of women in the workplace limit them from rising in their careers. These mindsets also limit their interactions with their women peers. Can you throw a light on how we can deal with this issue? So basically what I feel is with your mindsets. So mindsets are really your belief systems. If you feel that, you are not showing up in the way ideally you should show up, you are restricting yourself. You're not allowing yourself to be expressing yourself in the self-expression mode, in the right manner, communicating what exactly you want, communicating what exactly is your challenge. And that's where I think it stops you internally. Your belief systems stops you internally. So I think what can be done is you can, I'm a great believer in writing. Whatever I do, I keep on making notes. I keep on, writing my thoughts so that I can have a direction towards what I want to achieve in my life, right? And when I write, I am able to put it in a perspective that other person can understand. So I believe what you can do is you can really start writing what exactly is your challenge or what exactly you want in your life, in your career specifically. Get to the basic thought, because when you just think, it's like one thought linking to another and you really don't get the root of it, why you want to convey this, what is the challenge, what is the real challenge, or what is the real thing that you want in your careers. So start with that. Come to a conclusion for yourselves first, what exactly you want to convey, and then go ahead and put it in the right self-expression manner. I think that will help you to not limit yourself in the interaction with your peers and also with the people who are responsible for your career growth, with the people whom you can create a partnership for your career growth. Okay, so the next question is from Radha. She asked, my in-laws and husband are of orthodox thinking and we all live together. While I feel like I need to step out and build an identity for myself, they think I should be home for my child and for family first. And I give in and stay back. Is this a limiting mindset? My question to Radha would be, Are you doing it by choice or are you doing it by compulsion? We all have choice. If you are doing it out of choice, that's fine. That may not be a limiting mindset. But if something inside you tells you that you have to step out, you have to do something for your identity, what you need to start doing again is, what can you do along with fulfilling your responsibilities? Again, the self-expression, which is an important aspect as a woman or as any human being to really get into. Self-expression means what you want to say, the other person really gets it in the manner which you want to say. So again, I would suggest you to ask that question for yourself. Are you feeling inside that I'm limiting myself? I have many more things to do, but I am stuck. If that is the feeling, then definitely it's a limiting mindset for you, that you are not really putting up yourself first. Generally, whenever I conduct workshops for women, I put one thing forward that applies to me also, and I've been doing it for myself, right? So earlier, being a mother, when I was a new mom, or my daughter was just a little one, I would feel inside as a woman that maybe I don't want to leave her and go and attend a workshop or learn something for myself. Rather, I would be all around her. Now, the thought process over the years, what I've built in is, if I go to a workshop of 4 hours or make something for myself to learn in these hours, which I really put forward for myself, it's me time, then my daughter is really getting a better mom who knows things better, who is a learned woman. My family members are getting a person who is upgraded by herself, right? So another perspective I want to put forward rather here is, what you can think about is, how can you upgrade yourself in the perspectives, really? So if you are sitting in the mess, it seems like a big mess, isn't it? Right? But if you upgrade yourself in your thought process, how you are learning, put some time for yourself on a daily learning, then you can really unlock your potential and go forward. Okay, the next question is from Pravita. How to live life up to full potential and succeed in life? For this, what mindset and behavior require in us? Okay, so I would say behavior comes next, mindset comes first. So behavior is an outcome of mindset. And the mindset, you must start catching yourself in the sense that, okay, you have a particular mindset and you approach things with that mindset. Now you're seeing that it is not allowing you to succeed, it is not allowing you to get that outcome that you are really expecting out of the approach using that mindset you have formed. This is a big question you need to ask yourself. Like, some people have a mindset that I know it all, right? I know it all. I need not study, or I need not learn. And, they go in life with that mindset. Their behavior shows up like that. But then what happens is, somewhere, we all have to be learners throughout our lives. And if you restrict yourself of not having that learner mindset, you may miss the bus. Someday you are an SME, the subject matter expert. But now if you don't upgrade your knowledge, upgrade on your expert skill set, because there are new things coming up every day. So if you don't have that mindset, definitely it is going to restrict. So I would say, have a learner mindset, and then the behavior of showing up as a learner in every meeting, every talk, every conversation will help you to imbibe and grab the learnings out of that conversation. And that will help you to take, have success in your life. Do go ahead and explore your full potential. Shweta has this question, Preeti asks, does men face these issues as well? Of course they face these issues. Of course they have these issues of limiting mindsets and behavior. Again, I would call it as a belief system. And the belief system is somewhere formed in our upbringing, specifically from the childhood, how our parents, bring us up, how our teachers, our friends, our friend circle. So it is also said how you surround yourself, the 5 people whom you surround yourself with defines how you become in your life. So it is applicable both for men and women. So our parents did our best, whatever they knew, whatever they could teach us, they did their best. Teachers are doing their best. So it's not about them, it's about how we get into the learning mindset and also help ourselves and the people around us to overcome these challenges. There's another question from Pravita. How do I unleash my true potential? I think I just mentioned it answering the previous question, that yes, you need to have a learner's mindset. That's the first thing. When you have a learner's mindset, it really helps you to go ahead and learn from every conversation which is there. Now, the every conversation, it could be just you meeting your friends, it could be just you meeting a stranger, it could be just you meeting an important person in your life, having to have that conversation. If you're really open and honest in those conversations, putting your self-expression, I think there is much more available in this world to learn, because every human being has something to give, right? Something to offer. There can be strengths a person has. It is said that we all have some strengths. We are all made unique in this world, isn't it? So that's where I believe that if we go with a learner mindset, I'm sure we'll be able to unleash the true potential. So making this conversation more interesting, I want to tell more about myself here. So I started my journey as a professional into an IT company, and I worked into IT for 14 years basically before I made a choice to work for my calling inside, work for my purpose of life, helping individuals unlock their potential. So this is where I come from, and that's why, as a woman, I know, because I've been an employee, I know what exactly you can help yourself with in terms of being an employee. How can you really go about your career? So in my career, I've been blessed that I got a great career path. It had been an exponential growth, but now I can relate when I studied, when I learned many things, that it was again coming back to me as my contribution to my workplace. So I think the first step, generally people come to me, women come to me, or even men come to me saying that, okay, this is not working for us in the workplace. I feel that, this is limiting me in my growth. And I ask them a question, what are you doing for helping your immediate boss, manager, or anybody whom you report to, for that person to do his or her job in a better manner? You want a growth in your career, you want to take up the next level. What are you doing for that person really to operate at his or her maximum level? If you can look at this as a partnership, which I have also discussed in my book, Circle of Perspectives, if you take your careers, your employment as a partnership between you and your boss, you and your manager, you and your subordinate, right? This can work wonders. I had been doing that when I was an employee, and I got fabulous results out of it, because it didn't restrict me from feeling that limitation that, okay, I want to grow, this but, that this person is not allowing me to grow, right? So have an open conversation, start everything. So everything starts with you. If you have that intention clear, so there will be an inspiration guiding that intention for you. So that's more about me. I think somewhere I feel that I made a right choice for myself to get into what I wanted to, and I'm happy with what I do. Okay, so the next question is disparity workplace, a preconceived notion or a reality? Though competition between the old employees, as in career break, and the new grad pass outs, tough competition. Comparison amongst the conservative kind of personality and the kind with a mod personality. Can a conservative person have a broad mindset? Okay, so the first question was disparity. Okay, so I believe it's a preconceived notion. Again, when you were growing up, possibly you had been given that mindset, or people around you might have been talking when you joined the workplace that, okay, no, this is there is a disparity, there is something which is fishy here, and be watchful towards it. So we can fall in the trap of all the negatives that comes, because that's where we have been growing throughout our life. We have seen more negatives, more, even if I just take a simple example, okay, if a child is a very small child, a toddler is trying to climb a chair or a sofa, right? What is the first reaction that any adult watching that will put forward? It will be like, you will fall down, right? So it's like you are already telling the child that the child will fall down, and not telling the right thing in the right manner, that it is unsafe for you, or be careful, or you may fall down, which is again like you putting that notion in the child. So I believe that there are preconceived notions. It's not a reality. I have seen myself during my employment that it is just a preconceived notion. If you go with the right thing, as I mentioned earlier, if you work in partnership, if you align yourself to the vision of the organization, I think there's nothing which will stop you from getting the career boost, the getting up those roles which you have always dreamt for. So another one was comparison amongst the conservative kind of personality and the one with mod personality. Conservative person generally would be limited in the mindset. That's what I feel, because they may not be open for learning, and being a learner is an important mindset for you to grow. The next question is what society thinks as the next question is what society thinks as to why women need to continue the work after a career break, as one can either work from home or simply enjoy a homely life. How will there be a between work life and okay? So basically what I get from this question is, so if there is a career break, don't join back, be a homely person, or work from home, right? So I think again I will put it like that, Hamida. It's important what is your choice, what you want to have in your life. If you're enjoying being a homely life, nothing like it. But if there is something inside tells you, no, I have to go back to work, I have to start doing what I was doing earlier, I need to have my own self time. Generally, what I get from new moms or would-be moms or people who are coming after a career break, they have so much of anxiety in themselves. They have so much of self-doubt, which says, okay, am I doing the right thing? Am I really going forward and challenging the society norms, or am I really breaking through my own barriers, that I really want to work and do something for myself? What I think here is, again, it has to be a personal choice. It doesn't have to be something which is forced upon you, right? And it doesn't mean that today, tomorrow you start just just putting forward that I need this, I need this, I want this. But you have to have being thoughtful about making your choices. So again, I would recommend, write, if I make this choice, what are my pros and cons? If I make another choice, what are my pros and cons? And what cons I can deal with, because if you are getting into a failure, which is a con, how well equipped you are to get out of that situation, how well equipped you feel yourself to really get back on track if you have a real dip in life. Also, it is important because now it's like uh, you getting that support from your life space, right? Be it your family, be it your co-workers, be it someone, the outside support that you get. So you need to set up a system, I believe, for you to really go back and start working, or whatever you want to do. So making choice is first important, and then having a plan to make that choice work. It doesn't mean that tomorrow you will just go out and just not fulfill your other responsibilities. What I mean to say is, try putting up a system, something which is workable for you, and that gives you happiness. What will happen otherwise is you will go out, start your work, but then again you are tired, you are frustrated, you feel like, why did I join back? I was happy at home. So have a system in place for you to work towards it. Hope I answered that question. The next one, I think, the next question which we are going ahead with, just give me a second, I think it's just popping up. Tough competition between the old employees, as in career break, and the new grads pass outs. I think what I would call it as, because when I was away for my maternity leave, so it definitely had a certain amount of impact. Maybe some things which I wanted at that point in time to happen, I didn't go for it. I didn't go for it. It was my choice. Okay, I will say it was my choice that I didn't go for it. But what happens is, if you're coming back, there will be a competition. So I think let's take it that way, that so when you take a career break, you start off from the same position where you took a career break, right? And by that time, someone else might have caught up with you. They've already made a catch up in their career span when you join back, right? Though the experience levels may be the same, or maybe you have extra and the new grad is just having less experience. But I would want to say here is, it's not about the number of years of experience, it's also about how are you learning fast, in terms of upskilling yourself, in terms of really looking forward and sharpening yourself for taking up those roles which are dream roles. So now no longer it is like an experience game, that okay, this particular role is based on these many years of experience. Anybody anywhere who is upskilled enough can take up that role. So I would recommend, if you're taking a career break, just before coming to the coming back to work, what you can do is you can start exploring what kind of a work will make me more excited, what kind of a level or role that I want to pick up when I am back. Have a thoughtful, give a good amount of thought. Just don't come back with a bang. Come back with an excitement. Come back with something that will also help you to feel committed towards your work. Otherwise, what will happen is you will just be in that mode that, okay, I've come back and I will just continue in whatever is given to me. You don't feel excited enough. Somewhere that leads to frustration, because you had not given a thought, you had not made a choice really to make it the way you want to make it. And then somewhere that blame game starts, that this person is given that, I've not been given this. So I would want you to really have a thought process for yourself. Where are you headed? Is your choice to put less amount of pressure at work in this moment because you're coming from a career break, or maybe you're coming from a maternity break? So possibly you would not want to get into roles which are high pressure roles. So it's all about your choice. I really recommend women, and I really recommend everyone, make a choice and then go by those choices. Whatever you choose to do, just ensure that you have a falling back mechanism, because if you choose something and you feel like, okay, I could have chosen that thing, it's perfectly okay. Take the learning and move on. If your choice works, nothing like it, and then you are into your dream jobs. So that's where I think. Okay, why do we women always underplay ourselves? How to overcome that? Bingo question, Divya. And this is where I feel, being a woman can really be a powerful thing. Okay, but being a woman can also, you can also play a victim card through it. Victim card in the sense, not the real victims, but then the people say, okay, because I'm a woman, I have these limitations, I have to take care of n number of things. And basically you are playing someone who do not want to show up as an individual who can change the world, right? So it's it's in the learning scenarios, it's always said that if a woman is learned, right, she can help her family grow in very different manner, right? But versus if a woman is not that, someone who has not learned that enough, who doesn't have a learning mindset, will impact the family, will not help, and maybe limit the family to achieve whatever they can achieve. So in my life, my mom had been a person who was always a learner throughout her life. And whatever I learned, basically, I always shared with her, and she was always ready to apply and implement whatever I learned and share with her. So it's an important aspect as a woman. Now, how to overcome that? I think we need to start appreciating ourselves more, right? We always have a to-do list as a woman, isn't it? But if we go into a did-it list for ourselves, acknowledge our efforts every day, pat our own backs that yes, I did it, that's something gonna help us focus on what we have done, and also help us to build our potential, to really focus on our true potentials, that we can change the world. We can change our world, and we can impact the world with our things. So my intention of my work basically is to impact 5 generations to come. When I coach people, when I conduct workshops, my intention is, if you learn a thing today, it has to be so engraved in you, so ingrained in you, that you help the 5 generation. It has to be a ripple effect, a ripple impact of 5 generations. So first thing what you can do is, stop treating yourself as someone who always have to ask for things, who can go ahead and define your own identity. Start with your did it list. I did this, I did that. Even a simple thing of helping someone can be put in the did it list. Women generally lack a lot in their self-love. They want others to appreciate them. Rather, I would say, appreciate yourself. That will help you to overcome that mindset of we are not enough. Can you suggest any books to improve the mindset of women to be more positive? I think the mindset of women, so the thinking more positive has to do with everyone. It's not only about women, but I suggest there are few books, like a book from Louis A, which the title is You Can Heal Your Life. That's one. I strongly believe we all must read that. It's an amazing book. There are a couple of books from author Andrew Matthews, which is like How Life Works, Being Happy. And I think more on those terms. There can be self-help books, and also you can read my book, which talks about life as divided into 5 parts. The 5 parts are your career, yourself, your emotional, mental, physical health, your finances, your contribution to the community, and your relationships. So I've divided in this book life into 5 parts, and I have helped, it's just not a book that you can read, but it also has workbooks that you can really go ahead and attempt the exercises. When you have fulfillment in all the areas of your life, then I think it works. It cannot be just work, or it cannot be just family, it cannot be just you as an individual, it cannot be just the finances. So everything in your life, your fulfillment is the outcome of how you're showing up in all the areas of your life. What is your being? Are you a productive being? You will show up as a productive person everywhere. If you are a lazy being, someone who keeps on blaming himself or herself, basically, that this is not working, this is because of me. Every time there is an issue, you would say, okay, this is because of me, and then you will start to hide, not take actions to overcome those issues. The next question is acceptance of conservative personality in an organization regarding as to can have a broad mindset. Sorry, Hamida, I'm not able to understand your question. If you can elaborate more on that, that will help me to answer the question. Okay, so are you enjoying so far, or I am enjoying. I am feeling so excited to share my learnings, and I hope and believe this is a useful chat all of us we are having. So, so when I started my career, my life as a coach, as someone who is interested in impacting lives. So nothing was like I was not enjoying the IT bit. I enjoyed every moment of being into IT. But I always believed in the big picture. So that's another thing as an employee I would want you to focus. Your work, how it is impacting. Thanks, Divya, for the comment. We are enjoying. What I want to say is think about it, figure out the bigger picture. What is the bigger picture that you are up to? Is it just that line of code that you have to write and that's it? Or can you really see that your line of code, whatever you have written, is in the form of software or in form of anything, wherever you're working or whatever, your role is. What is the impact to people's life by your work? First, try to figure that out. First, try to see your place in that bigger picture, in that vision of your organization, in that setup that your organization is headed towards, right? And then from there, start putting yourself as an important figure, as an important person for your organization to achieve, right? I've also seen people who just talk about it's okay, maybe we are just a small bit of it, even if we go out there's no impact. Possibly there may not be an impact, but then think about it. Think about it in, there is a pond, and no matter how much small, a pebble you throw in the pond, there will be a ripple, right? So you do have an importance. Think about it. You do owe, and you do have a potential to create that impact. So never demean yourself on that. Just go ahead with that mindset that I am important, I am a contributor, I am a person who is committed for her work. And then go ahead and do that. Go ahead and have conversations. So conversations will help you to find out more, learn more. Go ahead as a learner, not someone who will be taking a step back with any feedback which you do not agree with. So I don't call it as a negative feedback. Possibly you don't know much about yourself, or the other person knows, or other person may be putting it in a sense which you are not liking. But what I want to say is, have a thought, not on every feedback, but specifically on the work, on the things that are related to your work, to something which is impacting you. Okay, so Hamida is, I think, reframed the question. How can we change the mindset of organizations employing conservative people who also can have a broad mindset towards their work? Okay, so I think with the organizations, employing people, so there is no magic wand as of now today available with the organizations to really figure out that whether the person is having a broad mindset or a conservative mindset. Okay, now these two kind of people, there can be a mix and match in the organization. Imagine if people, all of us in an organization of a mindset of taking risk, right? So what will happen to an organization? Then it will become a big risk for the organization to survive, right? So we always need a mix of people who are conservative. So conservative people will have a say that, okay, no, we have to be watchful about the risk that we want to take, right? So not all may be broad and open, not all may be conservative. So there has to be a mix and match. What you can do at your level, okay, because organizations are big structures and it sometimes takes time to get the organization steered. And I believe it's people who create organizations, not the organizations who create people. So if one individual starts to resonate, starts to reflect, starts to really emit the mindset, the broad mindset, the open mindset, the learner mindset, I think nothing like that. So when I was working, I had that thing in my mind that, so I have always been an inclusive team member, being a lead, being in a leadership position. I had always been an inclusive member. So people knew about my life, they knew my challenges. So we all used to work like, it's not like I have to run away or I have to show up as always a strong person because I'm a lead. It doesn't matter. So the more inclusive you start to become, the more learner and the more sharing that you do out of your learnings, I think that can help start creating a vibe within your teams, within the people around you. And that's, that will be recognized. I'm telling from my experience, because that had been recognized by my organization in the effort that I had put in. So I really want you to think about it in this manner, that your organization starts with you. You are equal partners in your organization. I'm not talking financially, but I'm talking in terms of the growth, because, if I talk about this cycle, which I've also mentioned in my book, Circle of Perspectives. So when you make that commitment, you deliver something which is in line to your organization's vision or goal, your organization shows up in a better manner to its customers, right? Which are your customers in turn, but then, that layer of, having up as an organization. Now, when your customer starts appreciating you, you are getting more business from more people, you are getting more customers, you are getting more clientele. Now, what is happening is there is a growth in your organization. There is a growth in terms of monetary growth for the organization, visibility for your organization. And now what it is in turn impacting you is you may be getting better hikes, possibly you are seen as an individual working for that organization who has a great visibility. So there are, this is a circle, this is a cycle which, all of us as an employees, as the senior people or the organization has. So it's important that you go for that. Start with your bit, I would say, and then it all falls in place. Hope that answers your questions, Amira. Okay, let's go on to the next question. When colleagues who include men and women demotivate you, saying that as a woman you cannot do this, how do we handle it? You must say thank you to them. First of all, I would want you to really say thank you. You are making me do something which you think I cannot. Okay, so first thing, because that is the challenge that has come into your plate now, right? Now, first thing, thank them. Don't get upset about it or don't get demotivated about it, what I say, because if you think about mindsets and behaviors, right? So there is something called as internal dialogue we all have, a man or a woman, every individual has, right? So if you think about it, that I am saying few words to you today, right? And if you put a glass wall and there is just a simple hole in that glass wall you allow, so it's up to you whether which things, which words I'm saying you are allowing from me to reach you. So I would say, say thank you first, because it's not a point to feel demotivated. Go back and reflect on the challenge. That's one thing. And now then make it as a personal choice. I don't want you to just go ahead and prove it that I can do it. Of course you can do it. Anybody can do anything in the world, right? But then go back, think about the challenge rationally, whether you want to put an effort in this to prove it to someone, or whether you want to put an effort for you to be a better individual, a better woman, to again go ahead, clear that air, and show up as a better individual. That's what I would suggest. Don't feel demotivated, because there is nothing called as demotivation. See, if you give your remote control in someone else's hand, then it's not going to work, isn't it? So that's another thing I talk in my book, Circle of Perspectives, that have your remote control with you. What can upset you, what cannot upset you, you decide and you choose. When you reach to that level, then nothing like it. So work upon yourself, start getting out of this mess, start working on yourself, listen to your internal voice. If your internal voice says, something, I need to work upon, go ahead, do it. But then there's no point in getting demotivated, and the next time anybody tells you that as a woman you cannot do this, just say thank you with a smile. Okay, so I think that answers your question. Okay, I'm looking for the next question now. I'm really grateful that I'm getting so many questions, and I'm happy. I'm feeling so much excited, and the energy, I'm feeling high on energy at this moment. So thank you so much, wonderful ladies, for asking these questions. So I came across a story where a candidate was adjusted for its suburban habitat, basically for his skills and talent. How can we change this mindset? Okay. So what I want you to do in this scenario, basically, if you are in a role or a position where you can really go and put up this change in the mindset, what I want you to do is talk about the outcome that the person can provide if we hire that person. Talk about that. Um, have an interview based on that rather than having to have where he or she is coming from. So, what is the outcome as an organization you're expecting from that person's skill or talent, right? So it's always a supply and a demand thing in the employment industry or anywhere, I would say, right? So rather than, you need to also check the basic skills and talent, no doubt about it, but not having to do with suburban or urban, that difference. What I can, you can help with is really what we're looking for as an outcome of this exercise of interviewing someone. So if the outcome is like finding out, so the first could be finding out whether the person is skilled enough, okay? But skilled enough in what sense? Skilled enough in terms of taking care of the role and responsibility that we are hiring that person for, or is it something just checking the skills, right? So go ahead and define that outcome as an organization. I would say first that, okay, this is a minimum criteria, but still we want to have these kind of people who can make this change to our organization. So these mindsets, so you cannot just directly go and tell that, okay, this is not the right mindset, you need to change the mindset to anybody else in the world, because they always think, as you think that your mindset is right, they must think, they will think that their mindset is right. But I would say go with facts and figures, go with some amount of data, possibly go with some amount of some groundwork, like the outcome can be one of your groundworks, and then you can really weigh the candidates according to the outcome that you're expecting as an organization. And then I think then you will be able to make a way uh, through this situation for sure. Okay, I'm fully enjoying, excited. I cannot, I don't have words, but then I'm really enjoying this. I hope you all are enjoying the same. Okay, as we get more questions for me to answer, um, okay. Um, there's something more that I want to talk about. There's one thing I want each one of us, specifically women, to really think about your challenges in terms of, so you write your challenges in terms of, I want to do this, but I am stopped by this thing. Okay, so you can also call it as X but Y. Okay, now write it completely, write all the challenges in this form. Like, for example, when my daughter was just 3 months old, because I'm a person who likes to work out, I always felt that I'm not moving out, working out, so I need to do something for myself. So there was a thing, because I'm a morning person, and I always like to work out in the morning, not in the evenings. So I faced a challenge, because in the mornings, because of lack of sleep in the night, I would always feel that I'm not able to get up, I need more sleep. So I wrote it like, I want to work out, but I cannot get up in the morning, right? And then when I replaced that but with and, the challenge really boiled down to, I want to work out and I cannot get up in the morning. Now I started to figure out different ways really to make it happen, because now it's, the challenge is not a challenge is, there are two outcomes that I'm expecting. The first one is I want to work out, and the other one is I cannot get up in the morning. So these two things, when those are separated, when you separate your challenge from the root cause that you think is right, it opens up and helps you to figure out the options in your life that you want to take. So I think that's where I would like all of you to look at your lives in terms of your mindset, because mindset is also like the same. Like I want to work, I want to start working, okay, but maybe my family is a challenge, maybe I have to take care of 10 different 100 different things, maybe before I really think about going back to work or think about doing something for myself, right? So I would say remove that but from all of these, in your mindset, because whenever there is a but, you will see there is a mindset blocking you in not doing achieving what you want in your life. So go ahead, think about everything which is there in your lives where you are constantly putting a but. I want to do this, but this is not possible because of this reasons. I want to achieve this, but I don't have skills. I want to, take up a bigger role, but I don't think I am into I can handle that pressure of that role. Put all the buts away and put an and over there. Now this will open up for you to pick up different options available for you to learn. So for example, if you say, okay, I want to have this role, but I cannot handle the pressure. Now if you put an and over there, this becomes, I want to take up that role and I cannot handle this pressure, right? So now it opens up as I need to learn how to handle the pressure, right? And then you can really be open and honest to upskill yourself and have a go with whatever you want in your life, right? I think that's it. Or you have any more questions that I would want to answer, you want me to answer? I am more than glad and honored and privileged to do it for you. Okay, I think we are done with our questions. If there are nothing more for me to answer, then I thank you all for joining today, and I thank for asking these great questions. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to have a small impact in your life, and I really, really wish you all the best, because the world is open for you to achieve anything. So, signing off, Shraddha Subramanian, author of best-selling book Circle of Perspectives, someone who is passionate about life, and I'm really, really, really looking forward to catch up with you one-on-one soon. You can visit my website, shraddhasubramanian.com, and you can connect me through Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and I just wish you all the best for yourselves. Break the mindset, break the limiting behaviors for yourself, and achieve whatever you want in life. You are born to achieve anything that you want. So I wish you all the best, and really pleasure being here. Thank you so much, wonderful ladies. Take care. Bye-bye.